What went wrong in the Steelers loss versus the Bengals? Everything went wrong from the get-go, not setting the tone. Now, the defense did a good job overall. Now, they did let some plays, of course, but to hold the team down to 19 because the team could have been up by a lot because the offense made some mistakes. We seen the fumble that the Calvin Austin had as well. The Bengals should have been up 28 to like 10 or something like that. But the Steelers defense did a good job in the red zone. They allowed one red zone touchdown, 4 trips, only one red zone touchdown, holding them to 19 points. The offense that coming in was averaging 28 points, holding to 19. But the offense we have on our team could not score. Russell Wilson has not been good the past 4 games. Overall, you probably say, okay, he's been pretty good. I wouldn't say good, but pretty good. I remember one thing I kept mentioning it over and over every week. I said, Russell Wilson's playing good, but he got to stop holding that ball and stop trying to get everything on one play. Take what the defense giving you. Justin Fields, the reason I liked him in the lineup because he might have taken a lot of shots downfield. Maybe that's probably, I think most of that was come from like the coaching telling him not to do that and the forcing thing, but he was able to move the sticks by saying, okay, I'm gonna take this guy, hit it right here, and he had legs too as well to open up more stuff. And the offense, overall was basically on par with Russ is right now too as well. Averaging, I think our offense averaged 21 points a game. I think right now our offense is averaging kind of around that range too as well. I think then you look at the turnovers. Justin Fields will have way less. He only had 1 turnover, I think. And then Russ had, like 5, 6, 7 turnovers, some fumbles and some pick sixes and stuff like that, of course. And, of course, Russell Wilson a better thrower of football, but Justin Fields had the legs like that to be able to go out there and make plays. But Russ kind of lost this game for us. I would say, yeah, a lot of the blame. Of course, there's a lot of things that happen. George Pickens dropping passes and different things happen, of course, on offense. Najee Harris was playing good. For some reason, they didn't want to give him the ball too much. I'm only trying to do this to maybe lower his price in the offseason or something. But I'm like, he was playing good early on. I feel like he had some good runs early on and making some plays early on for the team. But for some reason, they stopped going to him. Pat Fryermuth, another person who was playing good too as well. But you don't go to him fully like that. I feel like they wait too late to go to their playmakers instead of attacking them playmakers early and letting them get going like that. So by the time it comes to fourth quarter, they have that full head of steam rolling and stuff. And then you look at, of course, Russell Wilson at one play where he had the ball when we was driving on the last drive. Well, actually, before that, when we had 3-and-out on. The 3-and-out one was 17-19, when the Steelers got the ball, had to get a stop and get the ball back. If he can't have been, had that big-time sack he had. You get the ball, it's 3rd down. Instead of Russ, because the routes they ran is predetermined routes. Because it's like George Pickens ran like a curl route. Calvin Austin ran like a little curl route as well, like that. Just something that's like you turn around, you kind of like jog into it, you stop, you turn around, and the ball will be right there to you. For some reason, Russell Wilson decided not to just throw it like that in predetermined read, just to throw it in motion. It would have been 1st down too as well. Probably caught in the chest, 1st down, and keep the drive going. For some reason, he wanted to hold the ball and try to make something out of nothing, which he kept doing all game for the past 4 or 5 games. He's been doing that, and it turned out badly. And you hurt your team a lot like that, and it happens again. And then the play where you miss George Pickens wide open on the sideline. George Pickens running down right there, wide open right there. If you just get the ball, if you just drop it right to him. I know Pickens had some drops today, but he got open right there. You get the ball right to him right there in that motion right there. We get a chance for it. He come down with it. He probably would have scored the way he got past that cornerback, or he might have just spin himself out of bounds or got down in bounds. He would have had enough time to get down there, probably cutting it close, maybe saving 2 seconds to spare or something for the game-winning field goal to win the game. But for some reason, the Steelers did not go out there and do that. And now you're 10-7. You lose 4 straight games, enter the playoffs with 4 straight losses. And most likely, when you enter the playoffs with 4 straight losses, I never heard anybody getting better in the playoffs like that. When you're second in the regular season, get better in the playoffs. I don't know, you'll say too often. Maybe it's a miracle or something like that, but it's not going to happen too often, But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And most likely, I doubt the Raiders beat the Chargers. So most likely you're playing the Ravens. You have to travel to Baltimore again. And it's probably going to be some crazy blowout, 36-7 or something like that, something embarrassing. You're going to suck all the fans in to watch. You're like, oh, yeah, they're still going to go out there. The game will start very close, but it gives us a little hope. They did this game a little bit, gives us a little hope to come back, and then get blown out like that. So hopefully, I hope it don't happen, but basically that's what's going to happen. It happened the past 8 years. We haven't won a playoff game since, was it 2016? I was 15 in 2016. I was in high school. I'm 23 now. I haven't won a playoff game in so long. It's been a very long time like they haven't won a playoff game. It's been a long time. We get there. I mentioned many times on this channel and the Steelers Syndicate channel. We're good enough to get in the playoffs, but not great enough to win in the playoffs. And, right there, when you count one of those teams, it kind of hurt you a little bit. Of course, you stay consistent with being competitive, but it hurts you because you're never good enough or great enough, I meant to say, to win the big one like that, like we used to be. It's just bad. So we're going to see what happens, of course. And it's the same story, of course. Quarterback position. I doubt Russell Wilson will be back next year. The Steelers don't do nothing stupid. I know Omar Khan, he's more about business. He's more about what's helping the team. So he probably will not bring Russell Wilson back. He probably bring Justin Fields back because they did trade for him. That's bring Fields back most likely. and maybe bring another guy in from free agency to bring in, or draft a quarterback if you have to. You feel like let me draft somebody as well to see what happens too as well. Ewers from Texas, he might not be a first-round pick, might be a second, third-round pick, but I feel he got talent. Some other quarterbacks got talent too as well. Or if you want to do something crazy like the Chiefs did, remember they traded up in the draft, got Mahomes? Trade up in the draft and get somebody else. Get Shedeur Sanders, get Cam Ward, get somebody like that. Bring somebody else, a splash playmaker for the offense or something different. But I feel like our top needs are definitely receiver, Luther Burden, Emeka Ibuka, Evan Stewart's a cool person too. I feel like you can probably get both of those guys actually. He might fall to like mid-second round, third round type guy like that too as well. So you never know. I can get multiple guys too. Multiple guys. There's a lot of receivers in this draft. But top first round receivers, Luther Burden and Emeka Ibuka, I thought those guys right there be amazing. Especially Emeka Ibuka. The playmaking ability he have, the speed he have is very good. But I say receiver. I'll say cornerback because you need another cornerback because you're getting toasted on that side. Dusty Jackson is cool, but he's getting injured and he's getting older as well. That's another cornerback. Bring another cornerback in, that'd be good. And then, of course, offensive tackle. Trovitano is coming back probably next year, but still draft one for more depth purposes. Dan Moore, it's time to go. And then maybe add a running back as well because I don't know if you're going to bring Najee back. You should bring Najee back and then draft a running back as well. You have those two guys going at it and see what happens too because Najee is more consistent and more reliable than Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren, of course, is explosive, faster than Najee, but he's not more reliable than Najee because he does fumble at times and he does get banged up too as well and injured. Najee, one thing about him, he's not missed a game. Never missed a game like that. He plays consistently and 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. You make him your back. Bring him back in, and you draft the young running back, and eventually the young running back that you draft, maybe take over eventually, and kind of transition that 1-2 punch and keep things going. That's how you got to do. And he let Jalen Warren just walk from the free agency a little bit, and then you see what happens. So, Corey Patterson, you're done. Let them go too as well. I feel like you do those things right there, you probably help your team out a lot. But it's still the same scenario though. The quarterback position plaguing the team. We went 10-7 last year with 3 different quarterbacks. We went 10-7 this year with 2 different quarterbacks. So it's still the same story. Same story over again for the Steelers, entering the playoffs, broken, wounded, and with no chance to win, most likely. And most likely you probably won't win as well. Because you usually only get better as the season goes on, especially if your team already sucking and you haven't had a chance to build momentum up either. So yeah, it was just bad. Just bad things happening. And also the one play too Russell Wilson did. One last thing about Russell Wilson. I know he's a Hall of Famer, of course, but in this moment right now, he's not playing too good. Russell Wilson running the ball instead of going out of bounds, keeping the ball in bounds and keeping the clock moving. That was the dumbest play I've seen. Now, usually I don't use stuff like I always keep it professional with the stuff. I don't want to say players are stupid or dumb or they suck, but that was a sorry play, and that sucked right there. I'm like, instead of running the ball, out of bounds, you scramble, get the few yards, got to bounce, you cut back in. You're 36. You haven't ran like that in your life in like 5-6 years. You haven't rushed for over 500 yards in some years. So you're going to cut back in and try to run the guy over instead of just running out of bounds and stopping the clock to reset and regroup and get guys on the same page. And you probably got a better play call out. That right there was stupid. That was a dumb play by Russ, a stupid play by Russ. And he made more stupid plays than if he'd been making the past 4 weeks. He will be home first round. Probably going to play Baltimore most likely and be losing 38-7. I hope not, but most likely going to happen. The Steelers just look washed up, look bad. So we'll see what happens, of course, for us. But yeah, this is all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you leave a like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys probably tomorrow for basketball. At least I can talk about something different like that. But my Heat got blown out by the Jazz, which is still bad too as well, by 36 points, which is awful. But I'll probably discuss some basketball review. The weekly review thing I always do for every week. This is week 11 now, so I'll be discussing that stuff. But yeah, I'll see you. Peace out.